This cake story is from the AITA subreddit and is titled, "Will I Be the Astronaut for Not Paying for a Cake?" Last week was my 27 female partner's 28 female birthday. We went all out and had a huge party that required a large cake. There's this bakery that we've been wanting to try that does extremely custom cakes, and we decided this party was the best opportunity to order from them. The bakery is 2 hours away, so the morning of the party, I drove to get it while my partner finished setting up for the party. It went great. The cake was amazing. We were very happy. Only I noticed the next day as I was checking my bank statement that I was charged for this cake twice on 2 separate days. This cake was extremely expensive, so I was very shocked to see that had happened. I forwarded my bank statement to the business and spoke to them over the phone about it. In no way was I trying to sound accusatory, and they kept saying over and over that they didn't charge me twice, and they didn't know why the money came out of my account twice on 2 separate charges. They decided to issue me a refund for one of the charges. I received the refund the day after our phone call, and I thought it was done. But the day after, I received another refund. 2 refunds for 2 charges. So essentially, I never paid for this large custom cake. I wanted to drive back down to the bakery and pay for the cake again and make sure it was paid for correctly, but my partner told me to leave it be. She said it was clearly an error on their part if they had accidentally charged me twice and refunded me twice, so I shouldn't look a gift horse in the mouth. We really like this cake and I'm sure would order from them in the future, so I feel really guilty not paying for this cake. I'm sure it took a while to complete. Would I be the astronaut for not paying for it after their error? Man, so as a small business owner here, I feel like there's too much potential harm involved. It's not just like the supplies for that cake. It's, whatever time they paid people to do that as well. If it was an expensive cake, they're out a good chunk of money. And I don't know how many extremely custom cakes this shop can crank out per day. But if you just took out like an entire day's worth of revenue for this business, say they're open Monday through Friday, that's 1/20th of their revenue for the month. That's a BFD. You know what I mean? It's a big deal. Now it's possible that they intentionally refunded it twice because they found the double charge there and they were like, hey, just for the trouble, here you go. However, unlikely if it was this big of a deal. I think the DFHB thing to do is to let them know what happened and pay back that one charge, especially if you enjoyed it, especially if you want to do business with this bakery again. I think it's a must. At the end of the day, though, I think it comes down to what's your heart telling you, and are you going to be able to sleep at night if you don't do this? I think based on what you're saying here, OP, you already feel like the asshole just for the possibility of not paying for it. I think the tax that you are going to feel emotionally and spiritually, physically, mentally for not doing this, for doing something that you know in your bones is wrong, is going to cost you more than it would to pay for the freaking cake. So pay for the cake, because that's going to feel good to you to do the right thing. And then you won't have to deal with that angst. It's not going to keep you up at night. It's not going to be a dark cloud that follows you around. Like happens whenever you do something that you know is wrong. It follows you around. There is a tax on it. We talked about this on Sunday night, I think. The tax that comes from doing the wrong thing or spreading hate or choosing something that you know is wrong is greater than the price of time or effort of doing good. It will cost you more to not pay this. And I guess that's the bottom line. But you get to choose, and your partner saying to just let it go, that's this for me on the partner, right? It's like, oh, would you really be okay with that? Because I think it says a little bit about who you are as a person, and maybe she's just not thinking it through. But I think it says a lot about a person, how they handle these kind of situations. And yeah, it'd be awesome. It'd be awesome if you just got free money, but the potential impact to a small business could be incredibly damaging. Like the people who own that business may not get paid this month if you choose not to do this. You know what I mean? It's unless you run a small business or are very familiar as like a service provider or something, I don't think people understand how shoestring it really is. Tony Spark has thoughts.
Well, and they also said that they would order from there again, but if you don't go back and pay for that cake, they're going to know that they didn't get paid for it, and you're going to try to order one again, and they're going to be like, well, hold on. This person didn't pay pay for their last one.
Maybe they're going to know, but that's where part of this comes in, is that clearly they've got some kind of issue on the billing side of things too. So they may not 100% know. This could be happening across the board for them, where they could be double billing people. And then when people come back and say that and they try to reverse it, it double reverses it. So they could have big problems here. And this might be the first instance of what could be that recurring problem. And if this happened to us as a small business, I would really need that first person to tell me so that I could start diving into the problem and figure out what it is before we went out of business, right?
And sometimes with whether it's QuickBooks or, Square, some of those POSs, like sometimes it's out of
shit happens
their control and there's a glitch or there's something that goes wrong and they may not realize that they charged twice. And they may not know that happened.
Right.
And so, yeah, I think it's a sucky situation.
They may not know, but the potential impact on that small business, I think, is too great. More so, the potential impact on your spirit as a person is too great. And I think that's the bottom line is, what's going to make you feel better. And hopefully you do what you feel is right and explain that to your partner and your partner gets on board with it.